typically what you see is that men are stronger, and because they are stronger, they will benefit a lot. Like majority of men will benefit a lot from like active stretches. By active stretches, what I mean is stretching that is caused like the resistance, or like the force that is stretching us comes from our muscles, or we are opposing the stretch with our muscles. So there is our muscles are basically active when stretching, right? And I think for majority of people, I would recommend using this type of stretches. It's not mandatory, because you can see like gymnastics girls that can do splits without much strength, right? They can just like fall into the split. They're not able to get back, but they're very flexible. You can see that, right?
What's an
Uh,
example of an active stretch?
the example of active stretch would be, I can give you, so like the basic like split of stretching, we could say that it's there are two like aspects. So the stretch can be either passive or active, and simultaneously the same stretch can be dynamic or static. So there are four combinations. So there can be dynamic active stretch. It would be something like lifting your leg, for example, to the split, or like standing and trying to lift it, right?
Okay.
Or it would be, if we are talking about, tensing the muscle that is actually being stretched, it would be, for example, going to the side split and then sliding back up, and then going to the side split and then sliding back up. You don't have to go all the way down, but it's like the exercise, right? That would be active dynamic. Passive dynamic would be simply me as a therapist, for example, taking your leg and just moving it to the stretch position and getting back. You're passive, you're not tensing your muscles, but they are being stretched dynamically.
So dynamic means that it's moving.
It's moving, exactly. And active, and same thing with the static. So static active stretch would be basically holding a side split where you're resisting gravity. Like gravity is trying to pull you to the side split and you're resisting it, sort of, and tensing the muscles. That's called PNF sometimes as well. And passive, what's the last one? Passive,
Static?
sorry, active, oh yeah, passive static. Passive static is like, let's say you're in the pancake, or like the same split that you were doing, but you're basically relaxing. You put your torso on like a bed or like a chair or something, and you're just totally relaxing and letting your body go into this position. So, this is the basic split, and I would basically recommend, if you're starting out and if you're a person that is quite strong, to do mostly active stretches and add some passive on top of it. And if you're a person that is not very strong, then I think that it would be the best to use mostly passive stretches, but also build strength and do the active. And I think in terms of what exercises you should actually be doing, your number one exercise should be the actual split. So even if you're far away from the split, you can still do it. You can still train your body for this position. You simply go into the split and you're trying to hold it, right? And then after you're done with this, let's say a couple of sets, then you're going and you're doing accessory exercises. Just like in the gym, you do accessories. Here you can do also accessories. And when doing accessories, you just choose the musculature that is being stretched in the split, and you try to like tackle it directly. So for example, in the front split, your hip flexors and your quads are being stretched, right? Like your quads, like your rectus
Hamstrings?
femoris, like hamstrings as well, the front leg of the hamstring, right? So you can do separate exercises for the front leg and for the back leg. You can do also like specific stretching for, like for the calf in some manner. So you basically choose different exercises for these muscles and you just stretch them out. And that's basically how I would approach it. That's like pretty short version. Obviously, there is a lot of nuance into it. There is a lot of programming. Then what happened, like once you choose it, actually, how many times a week? Probably I would start with like maybe 2 times a week and just do it. And then as you progress more, then you can start doing some lighter sessions as well at home, for example, right? But I'm not going to go over the full programming because that takes a lot of time. It's going to be personalized for every individual. But these are like the basics that I would go for right now. And once again, I'm not an expert in flexibility, actually.
When I practiced the front split, I used to do it every single day, and I did not make progress because I didn't realize that, just like with strength training, you need to recover as well when you
Oh,
stretch.
yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that.